It's very interesting, the psychology of taunting people. If you read our brochure, essentially, it says, don't do it.
125 kilometers long, 17,000 feet of elevation change, 24 hours to finish. So yeah, there's a few reasons why you shouldn't do it. Here's 4 reasons why you should.
When my husband died 2 years ago, for a lot of people that becomes that kind of point in your life where you wake up and realize life's very short. So you've got to take your opportunities when you get them.
My main running partner is my dog, Greta. She's like me, she doesn't like the heat too much, so in the summer I basically take her out for 20 minutes before I go out.
I guess my attitude towards everything, towards life, is that if you want to make things work, you can make them work.
You know you can do it, but you gotta cut it into manageable slices and take it one slice at a time. And the next thing you know, there's only a slice left.
Nestled in the Rocky Mountains, the host town of Grande Cache has a population of 4,000 and an elevation of 4,200 feet.
I think the type of people that get involved in this are, strong mindset people.
Someone who is crazy. Personally, I think these people are just amazing. The physical and mental challenges of doing an adventure race, I think, are just phenomenal.
I don't know who signs up for this for fun, but I think the death race has a mythical quality to it.
Grueling as it is, like you said, it's 125K of brutal running, and the course is not easy by any stretch of the imagination.
Ultra running event, that's probably the best words that can sum it all up.
3 mountain summits, 17,000 feet of elevation change, and a really wild river crossing.
A lot of people haven't experienced descending for like 7 kilometers on a continuous grade. I mean, if you want a recipe for injury, there it is.
I think that'll be the challenge here. It'll be just knowing that you're going to be climbing forever.
You can do one stage of the death race if you're fairly fit, but to do it solo is such a huge commitment.
Of the nearly 1,600 entrants, only a few will attempt to run solo. Simon, Turbo, Nikki, and Scott are among them.
I've always wanted to do the death race, actually, just because I think it's got a cool name.
It's the death race. It's got to be one of the toughest ones in Canada.
With respect to the death race, I've always been a person who set high goals for myself.
I'm feeling excited. I'm definitely feeling excited. I haven't felt this pumped for a race in a long, long time.
It's hard to imagine there's going to be, 2,000 people here running.
It's a powerful experience to come here and race in a race of this distance. Some races last only seconds, right? This one is over 24 hours.
Hey! Go, Death Racer! Happy people around. See how long that lasts.
Beautiful morning, sun's coming up, it's warming up. Get some sunshine and warm for at least until the thunderclouds come in.
I always love the beginning of a race. I mean, you just feel the energy in the crowd.
What's up, dog? You ready to race? So excited.
It's very touching, very emotional to go through this race, and I think few people that do it aren't touched by it in some significant way. The little joke signs you'll see everywhere out there reflecting what people are feeling.
The fun aspect is eating pizza and drinking a beer after the race, and I can feel justified. Got to keep this on at all times. We've got a race number, our little hospital bracelet, and our timing card.
Obviously, I want to finish the death race would be my first goal.
As far as myself and my own personal goals, it's also tough to say because I've never done a race this long.
Not being an experienced ultra runner, only having one under my belt, I just don't know yet.
We've had a wickedly hot summer in Ontario, and I got a wicked case of jock itch. So it debilitated. Like, to get rid of it, you can't run. So here I am. I've ran 2 times in the last 2 weeks. I'm tapered. I'm ready to go.
On your mark! Get set! Go!
Over half of the soloists won't cross the finish line. And of those that do, few will break 20 hours.
Sacrifices to do any form of endurance race is you're training or you're out doing stuff that is long hours.
Work is a priority, relationships are a priority, but for sure, you sacrifice all those, a little bit of work later at night than during the day.
So the sacrifice is to friends and family and giving them time. The sacrifice is also you've got to be committed to doing it, otherwise the suffer factor goes way up.
Peak training hours for me, 4 and 5 hours running on the weekends, which means travel time to the mountains.
We're a couple, we have no kids, so it's okay. I can spend time with friends and family, but if I had kids, would I want him away for 5 hours on the weekend or beyond that?
There are several aid stations on the course where runners can refuel and refocus.
Got about 100 meters where the volunteers are allowed to help out or the support people are allowed to help out.
Talking to each runner as they come in and trying to get a baseline of where they're at mentally and physically.
Are you meeting your expectations?
Yep. Actually, I'm exceeding right now.
Some athletes will actually take a full break. They'll sit down, relax, talk to people. But if they're serious athletes, some of them will hardly even break stride. They'll just grab their stuff and go.
Between aid stations, though, and most bring enough food and water to last for several hours at a time.
More. Harley. What's the deal? We can get water here?
Yeah. Gatorade. There's Gatorade. Yep.
Let's go for some water.
Okay. Are you still doing good?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Drinking
tight.
lots?
Yeah.
You need any water in your pack? Go to racing!
How much further to the ETA?
To the end?
You need water in your pack?
To the exchange.
Oh, not till another, what is it? 7 to the exchange? Yeah.
I've got that. All right. 7K. Should be painful. I think I went out a little too hard. The first leg was 8 minutes faster than where I wanted to be, but we'll see. Cramps are coming. Gotta fight them off now with salt. About 4 hours in and starting to get the first cramp in the right quad. Not a good sign, but hopefully it passes. It's got a long way to go.
Be nice to be at the top of this hill, I'll tell you. Simon's got about 20 minutes. Phil's got about like 40.
We'll be picking Simon off the floor soon enough, let me tell you. That boy shouldn't be going that fast.
How you doing?
I feel dynamite, dude. I got a little blister on my right heel. I'm gonna get it taped up next aid, but otherwise, feeling good. Feeling a little low. Pretty heavy, my leg's feeling pretty heavy and I'm having trouble getting food down, but just gonna try and recover a bit here.
I was actually just thinking how very cool it is that after this we get to go up that one. It's like just as big or bigger.
That's a good thing?
Yeah, it's like cool. It's amazing. I think that I'm gonna go lay down and back up again.
Okay, 753.
The racers have run 46 kilometers and have returned to Grande Cache to end stage 2. They have achieved over 5,500 feet of elevation gain and loss and are beginning to feel the effects of the long and abusive downhills. Aid station offers the runners a bit of rest and a little encouragement before they attack the 7,000-foot Mount Hamel. And Simon will need it with the pace he's keeping.
This is a brutal course.
I think she's left.
Turbo, what's the problem?
It's getting me on the uphills to the blister. I'm flying on the uphills though. The downhills are slow.
bags there.
Right here.
Welcome back to Grand Cache.
Thank you. It's good to be back. When you come into town and everyone's like cheering for you, and you're like, oh, I think I'm doing something really cool. And yeah, so you're like all excited. But you know, I know that it's about to all end in a few moments when I go back out on the road and get ready for the big ass climb up Mount Hamel. This will be fun because I'll be able to like stare at Mount Hamel the whole time, I think. It's pretty big.
Most racers won't make it up to Mount Hamel, but for those that do, they'll discover that getting down is even harder.
Come on, racer. You're there. You're there. You're on your descent. You're close to heaven as you're going to get right now.
Nice race.
Yeah, how you feeling?
Herding unit.
Yeah.
Good job, stick to your right,
I'll make it down the hill. Oh, dude, this is tough.
Couple nice views.
Oh, nice vistas, though, man. Look at it, eh? Beautiful. All right. Take it easy, brother.
The view is almost nullifying the pain, almost.
Where's it hurt?
Everywhere. I've got like cramping muscles, but you know, onward.
That's it.
Management now.
You got it.
Management and survival.
Good job.
And potatoes.
The descent is taking its toll and starting to end some races.
These guys are ultra athletes, so they know their bodies best and they're good with their nutrition and hydration. But they do tend to push themselves to the very brink.
So obviously that one's purple. This one just came off 2 days ago, so there actually is no nail there. These two aren't bad, but this one's starting to turn.
Still having trouble keeping solids down. Fluids are okay, but I haven't had hardly anything to eat yet.
It's not only the physical challenge that people have to overcome, but it's also the mental challenges that they have to overcome.
Yeah, there is a lot of mental prep. You know it's not going to be a lot of fun at times.
Elite level athletes are a slightly different psyche than kind of the average Joe weekend warrior runner. They're usually almost have an obsessive compulsive need to always improve.
So we're waiting for our runners to come down Mount Hamel.
Unhappy, grumpy, stressed, anxious, despondent, focused, tuned out.
Focused.
Simon, you've been exceeding expectation every time. How does that feel?
It's scary at first, but now it feels pretty comfortable, so I think I can hang on, and we'll see.
Any concerns?
Well, I mean, my legs are not fresh, so that's a concern, but neither is anybody else's, so I'll get this thing done so I can get a beer before the bar closes. Do it again, deja vu.
Rock and roll, baby! Run for it. Thanks. Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
Are we happy, angry, and different? I'm happy. I'm more than halfway through, dude. Woo!
Okay. Pain? Any pain? Or?
Oh, there's pain everywhere.
Okay.
Holy shit, dude. It's exertion. It's crazy out there.
Oh no, how come you got dirt on your back?
I took a wipeout, dude. I took an endo, and I did a kind of karate roll. It would look cool. I bet. Is there blood there?
No, you got
The crotch is a little raw.
Okay.
Okay. Stand back. Away. Whoa! Gotta keep the chafing down. Terrible down. I'm like a pansy going down.
Scott, how are you feeling?
Fighting it.
I don't know if I went too hard on the first leg, probably a bit, but no, I still felt good on the first leg, but I haven't been able to eat much. Are you going to eat anything more? Or drink anything more?
Another water bottle. It's okay.
Let it out. Let it out, man.
Go get Simon, Turbo! Simon, I'm coming!
Once I get over this one, this is the toughest leg. So if I get through this, oh, I feel like shit.
All right. Good job, Scotty. See you in the next one. I'll give you a kiss and then I can just think of that one.
That's good, eh? My stomach feels pretty good right now, actually.
I bet it does. You got a lot of stuff in there.
Feeling a little bloated. After this, it's the gravy lap. It's the Paris de Roubaix or whatever they call it.
I was so scared of that mountain. Oh, it was so hot, but it turned out not to be so bad. And now it's cooled down, I'm feeling a lot better. So, pretty happy. Getting close. 30 or so, 35, 40.
I think perspective just changes when you're in the mountains and suddenly, you know, distances don't seem that big that used to seem huge.
When you push through those moments, you really feel proud afterwards, and that contributes to the overall enjoyment of the event.
And I think also appreciating the ability to break apart a day so that you never really look at the end, because the end was, you know, 800, 700, 600 kilometers away, which seemed too huge. But I could look at the next 10 kilometers or the next half a day or the next section to the end of the beach or whatever. And you just do that enough times and eventually you just get to the end.
It's like, you know, you gotta think about this race like eating an entire pizza. You know you can do it, but you gotta cut it into manageable slices and take it one slice at a time. And the next thing you know, there's only a slice left. Oh man, there was an unmarked fork. I went down to the road. Extra hassle I did not need in climbing.
The final aid station above the Hell's Gate River crossing is only 15 kilometers from the finish, and the last chance for racers to safely bow out.
We're number 6.
Thank you for the cheering. That was helpful with the giant hill to climb back up.
Have a good ride.
The legs are feeling multiple downhills. It's a big surprise. I didn't expect this. I would have been happy coming in around 17 hours. That would have been a great race for me. 15K seems so close. I can't even believe it.
My wheels fell off, man. Been out of water for about 2 hours. Couldn't run any downhills. My quads are done. And I made it. I blew up at the top of Hamel.
Yeah. Been down here?
Where are we on the map here? Oh, we're right there. Oh, that downhill looks bad, man. Oh, I'm hurt. I gotta see now. I think I'm gonna pull out, man. I can't do downhills anymore. After this, there's a big, huge downhill, and I'm just hurting, man. No, I might. I'm pooched.
How you doing?
This is the toughest thing I've ever done, I'll tell you that.
For the few racers that remain, the final stretch will be run at night, with only the glow of their headlamps to guide them home.
Come on, Simon, bring it in. Bring it in, give him some cowbell. All the way to the end there, Simon, punch your number in.
We got a blood test to do. Sorry, we're going right over to our fight. We're going to just take a pint of food.
So I felt a lot better after I was sick and headed up for the next leg, which was the big Hamler mountain there. And felt good for a bit, and then once I tried to start taking fluids again, my body just basically rejected it again, so I was kind of puking up the mountain.
12K uphill, and you're doing, 5K downhill or 10K downhill, and that's it. You keep going up and down, and that's crazy, man. You gotta train on that, or your body just isn't used to it.
It still has 18 on the clock. I'm so excited. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling about as exactly what I imagined to be feeling.
You know what? I had fun. It was as much fun as you can, beating the crap out of yourself like that. And I'll live to run another day.
For those that have competed the course, the reward will be a silver dollar. For those that didn't, they've got time to lick their wounds and prepare for the race the following year, hopefully learning from their mistakes.
Why do I run?
Joie de vivre. Just living life. Meeting people, seeing countries.
For me, it's always been the adventure. You climb up a mountain you've never been before, you run into an animal.
Wherever I go somewhere new, I always run, like around the town or around the city or around the countryside or wherever I am, I run, and I take note of things a lot better when I'm running.
Nikki's back in Calgary training for another ultra and taking it 1 kilometer at a time.
To be honest, running is the one thing that's always clicked with me. Yeah, as far as running relates to my life and my lifestyle, they very much complement each other, and being fit, being healthy translates to me into just better everyday experiences.
Scott's training for the New York City Marathon and spending as much time as possible with his family.
So simple. So I think as far as it compares to my life, I like things simple. You go and you do it. You get a pair of shoes, you get a pair of shorts, if you're going a long time, you bring a water bottle, that's it.
Turbo's training for some shorter races with his favorite partner. Simon's training for the Tour de France, a 330-kilometer non-stop race in the Italian Alps. But not before completing the final part of the equation. On a race course known for its difficulty, finishing is winning, and everything else is just a bonus.